Welcome to the fourth episode of Journalism for Diversity. Just before COVID struck on March 15th, New Zealand marked 1 year of its worst ever terrorist attacks that happened last year on March 15th in Christchurch, where a white supremacist gunned down 51 Muslims. And because of the COVID crisis pandemic, that story somehow fell inside the radar. And today, when the PM announced we are returning to level 2 this week and normalcy is getting back in New Zealand, we thought we'll talk about how has been the New Zealand government's response towards the Christchurch terror attacks of last year's, and how has been the response just symbolic and shambolic. And what prompted this? Last week, the CAG, the Auditor General, actually gave a report on the implementation of the firearms buyback and amnesty scheme, which is not a flattering report, but we'll come to that. So overall, after the terrorist attack, the New Zealand government did three things, and we'll talk about all those three, not in this particular order, but the first was the Royal Commission of Inquiry that was set up. Now the commission is still doing its work, and as of now they say that they will submit the report by July 31st. So till the report is out, we can't comment on them. So that is one thing, the first major step that they took. But just after the one day after the terror attack, the PM, and you will see here, the PM came out and she said that quote unquote, our gun laws will change. So after that, the government implemented a firearms buyback scheme, amnesty scheme. And as I mentioned, the CAG gave a report on this. And in that report, the CAG says that as of February 13th this year, around 61,332 newly prohibited firearms were either collected, destroyed, or modified by the police force. So you will think that's a big number, but just let me read the concluding thoughts of the CAG on this scheme. So he goes on to say, we do not yet know how effective the scheme was, because there is no reliable picture of how many newly prohibited firearms remain in the community. You might remember, because there was no initial register. So nobody knows how many still remains. So the number, that 61,332, that can be 50% of the total firearms that were there, or it might be 80%, or it might be 30%, nobody knows. So that's why the CAG says nobody can know how effective the scheme was. So nice scheme, announced just a day after the attack, good symbol, but ultimately a shambolic scheme. The second major step the government took was the Christchurch call. So the Christchurch call, it says it was implemented to eliminate terrorist and violent extremist content online. You might remember PM went to France and there was a summit level meeting and everything. So let's look at two things. So that Christchurch call was prompted by Christchurch terror attacks. We all of us know that it was live streamed on Facebook. In November last year, Facebook actually said that they have removed millions and millions of videos of that terror attack, and many more still remain in November. A story was done by Newsroom in March this year, where they proved that the videos still exist. So in terms of that Christchurch terror attack, the online hateful content is still there. You talk about the general online hate content. This is in this story by RNZ, Anjum Rahman, the Muslim representative, the Muslim leader representing the Islamic Women's Council of New Zealand. She is quoted as saying that the racist and xenophobic extremists were actually emboldened after the terrorist attack. If you think that's a one-off comment, just look at the NetSafe survey of last year that came out in December. I will just read the survey findings, the highlights. They have said that the online hate speech has actually increased by 4%. nearly one-third of the online hateful attacks happened after the Christchurch terror attacks. Nearly half of the Muslim respondents in that survey have actually faced online content. And overall, in their survey, 70% of the respondents actually said that they think that online hate has actually increased in the last 1 year. So the hate on the web, internet, is still there. So if all of us appreciate our PM because she's an empathetic PM. Look at this picture, the highest building in the world. Such a nice picture of empathy and solidarity. But this empathy must be followed by solid, concrete actions, not by symbolic and shambolic ones.